Hey, I'm Justin Shank. I'm the Director of Membership at the Greater Reading Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to Member Spotlight. Today our guest is Brady West from WestSide Insurance Services. Brady, thank you so much for coming on the show.
No, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. This is really exciting. I know we kind of spoke before and you were a chamber member with a previous business, and now you've kind of launched this insurance company here. And what kind of made you jump into the insurance business?
Funny you should ask that. When I closed my cafe about 2.5 years ago, I was spinning my wheels wondering what I was going to do. And one of my clients happened to be an insurance carrier in the area. And they said, well, why don't you come work for us? And I was like, insurance, what do I know? And it's like, you know what? I think it's time to try something new. Always love learning things. And so I hopped on board. They had a great training program, loved the company. But I got to that point in time where I was like, okay, I need to go back out on my own. So I did.
That's awesome. So you kind of have that entrepreneurial spirit that's kind of built into you a little bit.
A little bit. It's a second venture on my own, and I always told people I always treated everything like it was my own business, no matter what job I did.
Sure. So that's very cool. And obviously, there's a lot of insurance agencies out there. So why WestSide? Like, why would somebody come on board and sign up with you?
A lot of times out there, people nowadays, you get the 1-800 number, you see Geico, you see Progressive, you see all these big name companies, and just a 1-800 number. And every time you call in, you get someone different. Well, WestSide, we're all about the personal, we're all about the service. So I spent 15 years in the restaurant business, which kind of ingrained that servitude and the customer always comes first. So I brought that into the insurance world. All my clients, your interests are what's the forefront. It's not about the sale, it's not about the price. Too many times I have a client that comes to me with a policy and we're doing a review. And I'm like, well, how'd you get this policy? Oh, I called a 1-800 number and this was the cheapest one. It's like, I steal Farmer's commercial. You think you're insured for this, but you're actually insured for that. And too many times my clients aren't properly insured. So we sit down, we have a little educational seminar and say, hey, this is what I can do for you, this is what you're missing. Yes, I can help you, or no, you're good where you're at, but you might want to tweak a few things. And that's how I design my business.
That's awesome. That's really cool. And I know you handle a bunch of different types of insurances. So what do you specialize in?
My actual specialty is personal lines, but we handle everything from, when I say personal lines, your auto, your home, life, renters. We handle business, and we actually just brought on health insurance as well. Even with it being crazy out there in the market, we thought it was time to jump in so that we can really help people. Because no one knows what's really going to happen out there right now, so we want to make sure people are covered.
Yeah, absolutely. And to jump in, and it really shows that you're kind of there to really help people. What's that driving force? Like, why is it that you want to really kind of help people and guide them through this process?
I was one of the people that kind of growing up, I bought a house, I got homeowners insurance, and I didn't quite know what it was covered. Everyone around remembers the date, May 22nd, 2014, when we had that lovely hailstorm come through. And I was one of the unfortunate ones that I was with a carrier who wasn't centered about the customer. They had an adjuster come in from Louisiana, I think it was. Yeah. And the adjuster stared me in the face and said, oh, your roof wasn't touched by the hail, but your siding and windows are completely destroyed. I'm a math and physics person. Hail does not go horizontally. So I didn't want that to happen to my clients. Sure. So I am their voice. I am their advocate.
I love that. I really do love that. So obviously now you've re-engaged yourself with the Chamber of Commerce. What are some of the things that you kind of took advantage of, resources or anything like that might help you grow your business, whether that's in the Chamber or just around the community?
With the Chamber, I love the networking luncheons and the breakfasts they now do. The economic breakfast was great, and kind of see where things are in Berks County, in the area, what's going on in the business side of the world. Being in restaurants, in the past, it was all about food. And you come to me and you're hungry, it's pretty easy. Here you go, here's the food. So now, having another business in insurance, it's more, I'm looking at the community, looking at everything that's going on, because we all help each other. We're all the small business, and we're what makes the economy thrive. And Chamber has really helped with that. The power networking luncheons are great. You get to meet new people every time. And I actually love the newsletters that come out because it gives me a little insight on what's going on in the community.
Absolutely. So you mentioned the Power Networking luncheons, and for those of you who don't know what that is, it's really like speed dating for businesses. And I think a lot of times, I don't know if you agree with this, but I think a lot of times in networking, sometimes you can be a little gun shy to feel like you're selling yourself, and I'm selling this and I'm selling that, but it really gives you a great opportunity to really kind of pitch yourself as a business without feeling like you're stepping over on anybody's toes or anything like that. So what type of things have you experienced during that time? Have you met any great people that were able to help you as well? Or
I've met a lot of great people with the Power Networking. It really helps you work on your 1-minute infomercial. You get really good at it, and you're really looking for other business professionals, because that's the people that are there. Ones that can help build your network, build a trusted group. And I've come out with a lot of great contacts and clients from those luncheons where, maybe I can't use your services, but I'm sitting with a client who needs that help. Boom, I know who to call. I have your card sitting here waiting. And the Chamber's really helped with that.
That's awesome, and that's exactly the point that we talk about a lot with the Chamber. It's not necessarily about networking; it's about your network and who you know. And you mentioned, again, you're going back to the whole circle of you really enjoy helping people. If somebody calls you and says, "Hey, I need this," you go, "Hey, I know somebody." Yeah. So it's so much more than just, "Hey, here's a business card." It's really about building those relationships, and it seems like you kind of do that with your insurance company, correct?
Correct. As I had said, my specialty is personal lines. I actually am a franchise, a Global Green franchise. It's based in St. Louis. They're actually in 47 different states. But when I was searching to start my own company, instead of going full independent and instead of opening up a franchise, they met my guidelines of how I wanted to treat my clients as well. So I was trained in the personal lines, as I said, the auto, home. Commercial, I have my license, but it's not my specialty.
Sure.
So I actually use my franchise company to handle the commercial. So if someone comes to me and say we're sitting here and I look at your home and auto and I help you out. Well, you also own a business. Okay, I'm not going to just throw a policy together and say, all right, here's your policy, because I'm not sure if it has gaps and holes, and that's not correct. So I actually have my franchise company handle that. We then have over 150 carriers to make sure we're shopping, and they treat it the same way, where they've actually come back a couple times. Dude, your client's good where they're at. Let them stay there, because it's not right to make them change. And that's the philosophy I've always stuck with.
Yeah, that's really, really neat. So obviously we've kind of gone through the fact that you've done the commercial business, home insurance, auto insurance, life insurance, renter's insurance. You really kind of cover the gamut. Is there anything else that you wanted to kind of add or let the people that are watching know, something that you may be able to help them out with, or maybe why they should choose WestSide Insurance?
Well, insurance is a necessary evil. The best way someone put it is, I was actually talking to a client and it's like, hey, just let me do a review. Man, I don't know, I'm fine where I'm at. I'm like, well, if you just go and shop and call those 1-800 numbers, you're shopping yourself. That's time out of your day that you don't need to spend on that. You're not an expert in insurance. Not to say you don't know a little bit, but there's nuances that you may miss. Calling myself or another agent out there, we are that voice, we are that advocate for you. It allows me to shop, and you have the right to call anyone you want and use whoever you like. But if something goes wrong, you're not going to blame yourself for you doing the work. You're going to blame me because I didn't educate you on the proper way. So what I kind of tell people is, let me be your voice, let me be your advocate, and guide you and trust in me, because that's what you should do with business. We should be honest business people, and your interests come first.
I love it. So, guys, make sure you check out WestSide Insurance Services. You can find them in our business directory right on the website there. And don't pick up that phone and call Geico. But so thank you so much, man, for coming on, Brady. It was a lot of fun.
No, it's my pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.